Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for having me in this class. It's my privilege and my joy to be able to join you this time. And I want to acknowledge Professor Anibogu and say thank you so very much for the bravery and the faith that you have to come and invest your life in Nigeria despite all the odds. Today, I had an impression that more and more people will be following your suit, especially with the new governor of Lagos State and with the efforts that he's making. He's going to be attracting more and more Nigerians back home. And I have a feeling that if we could only have 50% of all Nigerians, somebody said even less, if we could only have 50% of all Nigerians overseas right now come back home, that is enough human resources to fix this country, because they are the ones who are enlightened. They are the ones who know the things that we desire to have. They are the ones who have had the opportunity to compare and see how progress should be and things like that. But even when they come back, if we don't get this lesson this lesson that we're going to read today right, nothing will still change. So that's why before Nigeria could progress, one of you people here must take over this lesson by the time we finish and really go and work on it in such a way that the elite in Nigeria will know their role and what they are called to be. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you for this hour. And Lord, we are ready to receive at your feet, to learn in your presence. So, Lord, I pray that you will take over the key of knowledge, and the spirit of wisdom will minister to all of us today and cause us not to receive from man, but from you, Lord. Speak by yourself and let your name be glorified. In Jesus' name, amen. When we are talking about national transformation, and Professor has been talking a lot, and other teachers have been teaching you on different areas of national transformation, and the topic he gave me today is very interesting. And it's a little bit strange to think that, if you ask 1,000 people in the world to give you titles or subjects that should be addressed in the area of national transformation, it's 1,000. Out of 1,000 people, I don't think there will be any one of them that will suggest a topic like this, that the role of the elite in national transformation. But because people think about other things, but not about elite in national transformation. How did you even come across that? But it's very crucial, and I'm thankful that this topic it was not there last year, but it has been introduced to become a part of your curriculum. What could be the role of the elite in national transformation? First of all, we all recognize the fact that Nigeria is an elitist society. Nigeria is a society that brags itself in the fact that I've made it, and that likes to show off to the rest of the world that I am part of the ruling class of the society or of Nigeria, or that we are part of the people who have arrived. We are part of people who ride in expensive cars, and live in highbrow areas of the city. And Nigeria is a staunch elitist society. And what that means is that you have the society divided into two. You have one part of the society living like people don't live in America, people don't live in Europe, and the other side of the society living in the slums. So who are the people living the high life? The elites. And what do to bridge the gap? Nothing. And the most important thing for them is that I have my own house with my gate and with the fences around my gate, my house. That is to say, we attain some certain levels of success and put ourselves with our own money lock ourselves up in the self-made prison. Because all over the world, only prisons have fences with prison bars, barbed wires, yes. Electrified even. That one is the maximum one. The electrified one is the maximum kiri kind of. So how can you make your money? Yes, toil and work your whole life, and then at the end of the day, you build yourself a house where so that's supposed to be your place of comfort and rest and a symbol of enjoyment and peace, and then you now come and put fences that block off oxygen and any kind of any sign of life that you are looking for from you. And you didn't just block off the oxygen. Then you went and put wire that reminds you of prison yard, the maximum one, and put bars and things like that. But it has become norms to us because we have gotten used to a society that of the privileged and the less privileged, the haves and the deprived. We have gotten so much used to it that we would rather spend millions of money building fences around ourselves rather than using even a fraction of that amount to meet the needs of those people that could have become armed robbers, to prevent them from becoming those armed robbers, to have reached out to the needy and to the desperate, so that we could live in a freer society whereby we will not need to deprecate from each other and they bring a dichotomy that is now killing us. And I will prove to you from the Bible that if the elite of this society don't realize it on time, and if we don't see and know and recognize our roles as what the elite is, as to what the elite is supposed to do in development of the society, that soon there is not going to be any elite left, because those people who are putting, you will put any kind of fence you want, put any kind of wire, electrocuted or electrified, anyone you want, they will still get you. They will get you in the hold-ups. They will get you on the street. They will get you in the banks. They will catch up with you anywhere, because when the elite neglect their role, God-given roles of bridge between the haves and have-nots, there is nowhere you can run to. One thing that the elites in our society must realize is that nobody really has any life. Nobody has any life to live in any given society, or nobody has any enjoyment. Nobody has any life to enjoy in any given society as long as there are people that are deprived in that society. Because if there are people that are deprived, you are not going to enjoy any life. Because those people that are deprived, they are eyeing you. And they are looking for opportunities too. And when they can't get it easily, they are going to get you. So every elite in the society must know that if we don't do what we need to do, if we don't realize our own role as the elite, eventually it is not the society or the government that is responsible for the emergence of armed robbery. It is the elite. That is the shock I want to bring to you. We are responsible for the breeding of armed robbery. So we all cry about armed robbery. We all whine about it. We all complain. We all do all forms of things to say, oh, government is not. That is the biggest problem of the Nigerian society. Pointing, accusing fingers at other people, but never seeing your own responsibility and never facing it. That what could I have done? What can I do? But instead of doing that, instead of considering what we could do to the less privileged, and even seeing the connection between our magazines, between our ovations, because Nigeria is one thing to have money and to have the underprivileged people in the society and then neglect them, but it's another thing when you have money, when you have neglected the underprivileged, then you are still flashing the wealth that you have, in their own face, before their eyes like this, and their own face, you are making a show of your arrival and of your wealth, a demonstration that by printing such massive, such mass culture, literature, and journalism, like Ovation and what are the other city something, city people and Prime, huh? Yeah, all these kind of things that people are seeing, flashy, taking everywhere, and saying, so in this same country there are people living like this. We are provoking them. We have not only not addressed their situation, we have not only not stretched our hands to them, make it lower because I don't like that thing. Okay, make my volume of the microphone lower. I will get loud, don't worry. We didn't only fail to address their situation, to stretch our hands to them, but we have actually provoked them. And we steadily do it. That is why no matter the amount of efforts that the police and other people take to curb the activities of armed robbers, as long as we are building and releasing those ovations and things like that, and Prime and City something, and we are putting them in their face all the time, all the day long, and all these kind of programs we are doing, BC something, or Latono or something, all those kind of programs, as soon as we are busy flashing those things in their eyes every day, you put all police, turn all Nigerians to police. I agree with Bible. They won't succeed. And we will keep them, and the elite would rather sit there in their office and be writing newspaper articles and be complaining, where are the police? Okiro. Well, to change Okiro and put yourself. We are not our brother's keepers. So, I dare to declare, and I make bold to say today, that we are all guilty when it comes to the situation in Nigeria. And this message, we need to print it. I adjourn you and I challenge some of you. Some of you need to start an organization to take this message public. No, it shouldn't die here in this pulpit. I mean, in this room. This message has to, because the reason our elite people are like this, they have not been taught. Nobody has corrected them. Nobody has challenged them. Nobody has even thought about it. Because we are living in the same environment. We are living in this culture. And our culture says, the most important thing is that I make it. I was also poor. I was also in the village. And I know what it cost me to get out. Now that I've gotten out of there, I don't want to, what do they say? I don't even want to go back there again. You even remember, I don't even want to be reminded. So we are going to parties, all dressed up, all cute. Have you seen the way those BC people, or Latono or something, show all those parties? Everybody, gives these Mrs. and Mrs. or chief something, gave the mother, the daughter out in marriage. This one buried the mother. That one just wedded. And you see all of them coming. Even me, that I'm well sufficient and I'm comfortable, I get jealous. Even me, that I am very comfortable as a person, I get jealous. Because the way they will flash that thing before your eyes. And the way they, have you noticed it before? What?
Exhibiting affluence.
Exhibiting even what they don't have.
Yes.
Have you seen Bill Gates looking like a Nigerian? No. Even Bill Gates cannot compete. Even Bill Gates cannot compete with the way Nigerians exhibit affluence and wealth, and they just make some pomposity everywhere, and just, we flex our muscles of wealth at the expense of the ones in the very midst of poverty. In the midst of poverty, we are doing those things. We must be dead consciously. The conscience is totally dead. Our conscience is seared. It's totally seared. It's not even reacting. It's not even noticing. Because we are only competing among our own selves. We are not among our own elites, our other elites about ourselves. We are just. So this message, it will shock the socks out of most of our people, Lagosians. And some of you people who live in Victoria Island and what do they call Ikoyi, some of you have never been to Oshodi for a long time. Some of you don't even see what is happening in Mushi. Some of you don't even go to Ajegunle because it's the same thing. You lock yourself out of the plight and predicaments of your brothers. And the most important thing for you, your own concern, is that you don't see it. As long as you don't see it, it doesn't bother you. But the God of heaven that took you in his own time from your dear situation, from your poverty, from your lack, is saying, that you don't care anymore for those you left behind. We are all to blame. We are all guilty. And have you seen a Nigerian that asks her? Even you like the glance and the peeping of the eyes of those poor who are looking at you. You even like, hey, it's my car they are looking at. I think it's the car they are looking at. And you will be remembering the way you used to look at the cars of those other ones too before. And you now say, hey, my time has arrived. Then let them also look at mine. Our values have been turned upside down, twisted, totally twisted and raped. And we think we are all, some of us, the worst thing is that we are even Christians. And we think we are going to heaven. We don't even know God's opinion again about these things. But in God's eyes, he created man, human being. Those ones you are looking at, that are looking at you, in God's eyes, they are just the same like you. And when you don't feel, when your heart is not pricked, God says, this is what I taught in the Bible. You remember what Jesus said? The guy that was owing some small amount of money was forgiven. Yeah. But then when the other guy was owing him a bigger amount of money, it was cruel, very cruel towards him. He would not even pay attention. He lost sensitivity. That is what has happened to us in Nigeria. When you are in pain, maybe a greater pain than the other guy, you look for help and hoped that somebody will remember you. And somebody will just stretch a hand to you. And somebody will give you a scholarship maybe. And that somebody will take you to town maybe. Give you salary maybe. And now that the good God had answered your prayer, we have now become like that servant. Oh, bye-bye, I've escaped though. We lost sensitivity. Feelings of obligations towards the other people that were left there. Still crying up to today. The same words and the same bitterness, weeping, with which we wept. But today we don't care anymore. And then, to make it worse, all these people with cars that are passing by other people, all these people that we call the elite, that are affluent, go to churches every week. And nobody tells them this thing. The church needs the money. So the people go to church, the church of God, the God that is saying the truth. Oh. So this opinion of God that God says, which is breaking his heart, it's not even expressed at all. It's not even going to giving a word or a pulpit on the pulpit. It's not even addressed. So people that were supposed to be convicted by the power of the Holy Spirit, they are never convicted because you are only convicted of something that is spoken of. Yeah. So when you are not convicted, everybody think we are okay. Everybody think they are okay. The bottom line is, my friends, that we are all as poor as the environment we live in. Do you know that in what year was this? In 79 to even up till 83, poverty level in Nigeria was 25% of the population. What percentage? 25% of the population. 25. With less money though in the circulation, but 25% only poor. But today we have 10 times more money. That time we didn't even have more than 50 millionaires in the country. Now we have billionaires in this country. And 100 times more money in circulation. And you know the poverty level, my brother, now 75%. More money, oh. Richer people. God of us. You know what 75% is? Huh? Don't tell me 1/3 though. Our house is burning. It's on fire. It's going to get to us soon. So you people are not in classes, so if you don't take this word and start a revolution with it, then you don't have conscience again. You are all dead. I was just at a function while I was late. We were opening a bank. Every Nigerian thinks it's their own duty to dress fashionably and just flashily and come to events, you know. And we all make the place look flashy and something. We are just outside of that bank like this. The whole gutter is smelling. All the refuse are everywhere. And the people are rounding up and down saying, hello, hello, Anka Shuba. And we have conscience to come so flashily with my wives and partners and just come. All these four people running up and down doing this. Ah, my God. People don't even notice. Have you ever gone to any bad day before in Nigeria here? Especially the elite birthdays. Have you ever gone to marriage? And we are all part of them. And the thing we bet ourselves in is that at least I fit in this. I look, my dress also is not worse. It's one of the best. We don't even consider God. We don't have God factor again. And we are going to church. Oh. No conscience factor, no Holy Ghost, no conviction, nothing. We are not rich at all. If you have 1 billion today and you live in this city, right, where 75% is poor, cannot even afford $1 a day, they are living something less than $1 a day, and you have 1 billion, you are not rich. You are not rich at all. The only thing is, you are unashamedly, what is the word? Callous. You are all ashamedly callous. It's callosity or callousness. You are just callous. Unashamedly callous. That is the thing. That is the thing. It is callousness that has brought you there. But you are not rich. You are on the same level with those people. It is not their shame because they don't have opportunities. It is your shame because you have the opportunity. It is not their shame. They couldn't help it. They don't know better. They are illiterate. They didn't not given opportunity. But it is your shame. You are not rich. You are as poor as the society you live in. Could write that down. We are all as poor as the wealth of the society we live in. We are all as rich as the society we live in. If we are surrounded by poverty, that is who we are. That is what reflects us. We are all as poor as that society. We are all as poor. Do I just go 1 hour straight? Yes, please. Till when? 4:30? I started before 4. Huh? Okay. Okay. Then after 5, we take 1 more break, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. But before then, we could have a break. Oh, we don't need a break? Okay. But the class is supposed to finish at 5, though. 5:30. Okay. But we could do a break. Since we have time, I will take my time to begin to take you through the scriptures. Let's open our Bibles to the book of Judges. Judges chapter 11. Now Jephthah, from verses 1. Judges chapter 11 from verses 1. Now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior, but he was the son of a prostitute. He was an underprivileged. He was one of those that were despised in the society. He was one of those you could call a bastard. Gilead was the father of Jephthah, and Gilead's wife also bore him sons. And when his wife's sons grew up, they drove Jephthah out and said to him, "You shall not have an inheritance in our father's house, for you are the son of another woman." Then Jephthah fled from his brothers and lived in the land of Tob, and worthless fellows collected around Jephthah and went out with him. Now, this story you just read Did you notice that the legitimate sons of Gilead, these people, they have the same father. They are from the same household, the same family. But because they had their mothers in place, and they, whatever the reason was, this Nigeria is the father of all of us. For one reason or the other, I could have been privileged. And for one reason or the other, whatever the reason might be, maybe he was underprivileged. He was not lucky enough like me. In the case of Jephthah, it was with the mother. He didn't have a mother to take care of him and to raise him up in the house. And it was conceived out of wedlock. Now tell me, what was his fault? In that he was conceived out of wedlock. Tell me, what was his fault? Okay? Some of these Igbo guys who are selling, who are doing these things, and all the people who are, all these Lagos Ajegunle people who are just in this place, you think because they didn't have the opportunity to be sent abroad like me, or to study in college, Unity College or Federal Government College, nobody gave them the opportunity. Nobody could send them there. Nobody could pay for them. And now they are living this particular condition that they have, in this particular condition that they have. And we have better amenities and facilities and better opportunities. What makes me think that I have the right to enjoy a better standard of living than them? What makes me think that way? What makes me think that way? That it is my right to just live opulently. It is my life. It is my right to just enjoy life. Why? It is their own problem. It is not my business that they are living like that. What makes me think? Supposing it is me in their place. Supposing I didn't have the kind of father I had, or the kind of brothers I have, or the kind of relatives that I had. What makes me think that couldn't have been me? And what makes me think that I could live with that and see and just close my eyes at the fact that they are suffering and I'm comfortable. So that's exactly what happened here. So people of the same household, people of the same father, were now saying, well, we had everything, and so you don't have it, it's your problem. They pushed him out of the house. We are doing the same thing today. We are pushing people out of their deserved rights as citizens of this same house called Nigeria, of this same household, of this same family, one family. We, by neglecting them, by bypassing them, by not paying attention to them, we are making the same statement these people have made against Jephthah. And you know what? Let me tell you the truth. Whenever you bypass the needy like that, whenever you become insensitive like that, whenever you refuse to respond to the plight of another human like that, let me tell you what will happen. You guess who responded to the plight of Jephthah? Useless people. What did he say in their own interpretation? Worthless men. Now, listen to me. Let's assume we are the elite of Nigeria today. Look, we neglected the needs. We refused to respond to the needs. We refused to be sensitive to their pain. But worthless men, no. People that we think are armed robbers. People that we think are killing people. They are robbing people. Those are worthless men. Thieves, armed robbers. Do you know those other people who are being recruited to become armed robbers? They were received into their group, into their club, or into their community, into their whatever you call it, huh? Into their association by senior worthless people. Worthless people are recruiting people better than we do. Area boys and other people like that, people we call worthless people, area boys, armed robbers, sometimes they are better than us elite. You don't get me? The elite were insensitive. The ones who call themselves legitimate. We are the nobles. Their nobility never get there. Their nobility didn't get there. They never got there to being sensitive to the nobility. We are legitimate. Their legitimacy never got to the point where they could be considerate. So even the same sensitivity and consideration that they never had being elite and nobles, look at people we call worthless people. No, what do you call them? Area boys and or armed robbers. Sometimes they have conscience more than us. That's the point I'm getting to. Why? That is clear. They have conscience because even though they are also using the people for their own purpose, but at least they receive them. People who go to become armed robbers, the new armed robbers, if they were not received, they will not stay there. Because people understand their plight, they join. Because they sense that some people are more sensitive to their situation. Some people are more sympathetic to their condition. People hear their stories and they say, hey, don't worry. Don't worry. Let's go. We'll go and walk. We will show them. They show them understanding. The very understanding that Jesus died for on the cross. The very understanding that he asked us to show. The very understanding that we were supposed to have shown so that those people don't get into that desperate situation. When men of nobility, when noblemen are insensitive, the worthless men take charge of a nation. When men of nobles, when noblemen don't respond to the pain of the needy, of the destitute, the worthless men reign and enthrone the reign of terror. We are all to blame for the armed robbery, for the spree of armed robbery. It is not the police. It is not the government. It is a system and the values that we are propagating, and we are still propagating every day with our lifestyle and our negligence and our indifference and our elitism. These things give birth to armed robbery, to worthless men. These things give back to armed robbers and thieves, to the burglaries. We are all to blame for it. And it's unfortunate that there's no voice anymore in this society to lift the cry, to open the eyes of the nation. We are all locked up in our air-con cars. We are all locked up in our barbed wired fenced houses, and just complaining. There must be a movement to change our understanding. There must be a revolt from within ourselves to stop the rubbish and the nonsense. We must arise. We must raise our voices like John the Baptist. We must raise our voices even if it's going to be in the wilderness. Even if it's going to be a lonely voice. Let's publish these words. Let's distribute these words. Let's bring the tape, the CDs to men all everywhere, all over. And let us take charge and take responsibility for the things that are happening around us. Yesterday, I heard a very tragic story of a 41-year-old man, a young banker, I suppose he was a banker, that was shot dead in the head just by the spray of bullets that were going on around, was it Ikoyi, Victoria Island yesterday. And he was just passing by, he was just coming out of his office. Because these robbers went violent. So he died. And is there any one of you that knows at least one person, innocent person, that had been robbed or killed in this city or in this country? You know at least one person. Now listen closely now. When people are attacked and are killed like that, what do we think? We think, oh God, oh, thank God it's not me. Oh. It is you that is being killed. It is you. It's not just it can happen to us, it is an anger against where we are, against our status quo, against our indifference. It is killing of our elitism. It is when one of us is being killed, it is against all of us. It is us they are destroying. It is the halves that are being killed. It is the have-nots that are hunting after the halves. It doesn't matter what is the name of the person that was killed. It is you. It doesn't matter to them. It is you are all the same. It is you, the halves. The have-nots are revolting. That can't you pay attention to us? Don't you know we live in the same household? We come from the same household. We all belong to this land. This land gave back to all of us. How could you be so cynic? Or is it what they call it? Cynic? Insensitive. And is it? Yeah, I'm looking for the word cynic. Cynical. How could you be so cynical? My language will use cynic in the Russian language. How could you be so cynical as to not notice us? How could you be so cynical to lock yourself in those fence wall with barbs? We're going to get you. And it doesn't matter what's your name. They don't care what's your name. They don't know the names. They don't care what you look like or something. They are protesting against your indifference. They are protesting against your insensitivity. They are protesting against your insensitivity. They are protesting against your callousness. They are protesting against your rigidity, against your lack of thought and lack of consideration. That don't you see us? Then some of the elites will say, we see, but it's overwhelming. What can I myself do? That is why you should know that they are not killing individuals. They are attacking all of us. Because you as an individual cannot do anything. But when we all wake up to say, let's unite in a movement. Let's unite in an NGO or non-government organization. Let's raise up our voices. Let's begin to do the minimum we could do. Let's begin to organize feeding center in every city in this country. Every street. Can you imagine every street of this city having feeding center for all the neighborhood? Or training center, or skills acquisition center, or job employment centers, every street, even every area, what do you call the areas? Every regions. The small one under local governments. The wards, every ward or every local government. Let everybody begin to do something. Even I told you that the worthless men sometimes have more sensitive conscience than us. It was the...
They'll look after their own at any time.
Yeah, they look after their own, but also because they are sensitive, that's how they were able to... Other people are joining them. Because they are saying that you are also poor. I'm poor. You are poor. Let's unite. But we are not uniting to help them. We are not sensitive enough. They are sensitive for each other. Area boys, they are sensitive to each other. And you know what? That sensitivity that they still have left for each other, it is still conscience. It is still from God, even though they are armed robbers. And that sensitivity, they will apply it to you. That conscience, when you begin to help them, when you begin to hand them something, when they see that you are sensitive also, they will apply that sensitivity to you. I've had stories in this Lagos of armed robbers coming to the house of people to rob them. If it was precisely it was Pastor Esco's church in the other Pastor Esco that died, in redeemed, and these armed robbers came to rob this family, and the guy, the house, the mother of the house was saying, we are feeding people, we are helping as much as we could. We go to that church. I said, you go to that church where they are feeding? I said, wait. We are from that area where you are feeding people. You fed my brother and my sister. Are you from that church? Are you serious? Is it true? What church? What is the address? They gave the address. He said, we are sorry, we will not rob you. Thank you. They are Muslims, but they say, we are Muslims, but thank you very much, because we know what you are doing. You have been helping us something. And they say, pray for us. They have that conscience. It is against your callousness that they are attacking. It is against your indifference. And God is not stopping it. He's not going to stop them until we wake up. Because we are going to do night vigil. Oh, God, protect me from armed robbery. Do you think the one that the kid didn't protect, they didn't pray? God is not going to. I said that today my friend was coming to me and said they killed his uncle yesterday, or his cousin. And he said, Pastor, he was such a nice young man. That is annoying. That is a Christian man. He helps about 1,000 people, or people all over the country. And he was a wealthy, well-to-do young man. But why should God allow that kind of thing? It is not him they killed. It is us all they killed. And it is not us as individuals. It is against our indifference. It is a protest. That could readily be you or him. It's not God who allowed it and God decided to protect. No, it's just because your day has not come. One day to get to you. One day to be you. Don't say I'm cursing. It is just that is just the thing happening. That's the way it is. There is no way, prayer can save you. And some of you are saying, okay, one of them, I was asking them, from over there, I was calling to Nigeria from when I was in Europe. How do you people live in Nigeria? What about armed robbery? They say, you just must have faith. It is faith, it's only God, I said, how is come they are killing other people and they are not killing you people? How have you been able to survive Nigeria for so long? He said, it is only God, We have to pray before we leave. Before you know, he's the one that killed next time. You see, it is not, God is neutral. God, don't even bring God here. It is the reality you have to face. You think the one that you just pray that it's only God, bragging on God. God will just say, no, God made it so that he's the one they kill. So that you will know that God don't come here at all. Because all of you have disregarded God. All of you have neglected God's instruction. And now you are looking for his protection. It's not fear, man. It's not fear. So today in that bank, I was telling them that you all elites, and you are happy that you are well dressed and doing some hair coil, or what do you call it, and some makeup, and you guys are wearing suit and agbada, and you are coming to sit down and making brag that you are, at least I'm belonging, I'm not in Jogule or Ajegule or Oshodi or Shokoto or something. I'm in the mainstream Victoria Island. That's why Victoria Island. That's why you will not live in peace. Have you heard that Mushin people are putting in Mushin? Do you know that there are no barbed wires and there are no fences? It's you they are after. And don't you blame those armed robbers, Don't you blame them, Because whatever you are seeing with them is a reaction. Only a reaction. To what? To your indifference. To your callousness. And to your elitism. To the same people who are born in this same land, Is that not the explanation for that the people in Delta, like militants? Is that not the argument they are using? They are saying this same Nigeria, is it not this same our land that is producing this oil? And how can you now be living in all this? So they kidnap something you love or somebody you treasure or they just kidnap. Give me part of the thing you are enjoying. That's the point they're making. He said, am I also not from this land? Even though I don't condemn militants' efforts and all the things they are doing evil, because they are trying to overcome evil by evil. But I'm just explaining to you, and I'm not condoning armed robbery, but I'm just explaining to you that, no, there is something they call evolution. No, not revolution. Evolution of dynamics. So this is dynamic evolution that is happening. You know what that means? Dynamic evolutions? You know what it means?
Action and reaction.
Yes, dynamical evolution is something that is been set in motion. Cause and effect. Cause and effect that just has to happen. It doesn't matter if it has been set in motion. It's just going to happen. It's just dynamics. It's just it's a matter of time. It's just going to happen. It's been set in motion. It's something that is is it dialectics? It's dialectics, we call it in philosophy. This is a dialectical thing. So verse 3. Then Jephthah fled from his brothers and lived in the land of Tob. And worthless fellows collected around Jephthah and went out with him. That is how people are gathering, recruiting new armed robbers. No matter how you kill them. You know, I used to think like that too, that we only need better armed police. Arm them now. Have you not been to South Africa? Who knows the situation in South Africa? 1, 2. Let me tell you a little bit. Are you okay? Do you think they are not well equipped? They are military? Try them now. You don't even compare they have electronics, they have information, they have technology, telecommunications, they have videos, they have telephones, they have everything, they have gadgets. But their crime rate there, right, is even 10 times higher than our own. Because of the huge injustice that is in the society. This rule will always follow. These things will always happen. They will always happen anyway, because it is dynamics that have been set in motion. Because when we are insensitive to the people of the same land, that were born in the same household, in the same land, this same land gave birth to them, the wealth of the same land belongs to them, and it's only been taken and enjoyed by the elite, by the people who had some opportunities that they didn't have, by people who were able to go to school, by people who were able to get some elitist education, or who were lucky enough to be employed. And now that they have been employed, they didn't even remember where they were saved from. That they needed to remember a lot of more other people that are left there, and set up a program and divide a little that they have among all the other people. When we don't have that sensibility, then we reap this kind of the anger of Jephthah. And the history and the destiny of the history of Jephthah is what is teaching us this lesson. So after a time, the Ammonites made war against Israel. And when the Ammonites made war against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to bring Jephthah from the land of Tob. And you see, that is where the worthless people, the what they call the area boys and the armed robbers, took him and made him like tough armed robbers like them. He became the head of the gangsters. He became the end of the area boys. So he had his own military with him. He had his own men. But when crisis now was overwhelming the nation that he came from, the Israel, they had to go to him in verse 6. And they said to Jephthah, come and be our leader, that we may fight against the Ammonites. But Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, did you not hate me and drive me out of my father's house? Why have you come to me now when you are in distress? And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, this is why we have turned to you now, that you may go with us and fight against the Ammonites and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, if you bring me home again to fight against the Ammonites, and the Lord give them over to me, I will be your head. We don't even know the consequence of this story. We don't even know what this story means. The people we have rejected yesterday, the people we have refused to care for yesterday, the people that have cried for our help and did not receive it, will always find ways and means to fortify themselves, to make themselves strong men that other people will look up to. The 419 syndrome, they fortify themselves through stealing, through robbery, through fraud, and they want those people who are criminals. The 419 people are criminals. Armed robbers are criminals. But because they are now coming back to town in Mercedes Benzes, in Jeeps, in what do you call this latest Jeep, Hammers, and building mansions, guess who the old people in your village and in your town are nominating for local government chairman? Not just local government chairman, governors. Not just governors, House of Rep people, senators. Look who became, who have now, oh the syndrome of Jephthah is overtaking Nigeria. They are now ruling over us. And you are now saying, why is this armed robbery not stopping? Stop it. Why is this not happening? You have institutionalized. We have now institutionalized the people and legalized the pain that we refuse to abate, that will now cause us even much more pain today. We are now becoming the victims of our insensitivity of yesterday. We are now paying high price on the, systemic now, not just rampant or, not just random something or sporadic something. It's no more sporadic. It's the sporadic ones that are taking place. But apart from that, suffering is coming from the sporadic one from underground, and then systemic one from the top. We become the victim of our insensitivity. Nobody tells us these things. And to make it worse, we have churches on every street too. In my own opinion, 90% of these pastors, especially these newcomer, new generation pastors, if I were the one, in my opinion, I would just send them to school here. Come and sit down. Don't take Bible. Don't even take microphone. Don't even come near. Because they doing themselves don't have the sensitivity. They don't even have the feeling. They don't even have the passion. They don't even attempt to go to any church on Sunday. The only thing you will be hearing is empty promises. Empty promises that is even making us to even become 419 self. God, they will tell you, raise up your hand. Hallelujah. Go raise up your hand, somebody. Somebody is here that will receive this thing. Somebody is here that today is your son. Today. You don't even need to go. You know, magicians. You are walking. You only need the man of God to release on walls. Especially if you bring some envelopes with it. Just appear with envelope like this. Armed robbers in the pulpit. So when you come, you respect me, and because the people who are saying this are the respected people of the society. The people in the pulpit, people are respected. And you people that are listening to them, because you have been saved through the blood of Jesus, and you know that your salvation experience is real. You know who you were before you got saved. And now, since through that church you got saved, everything that man now says is an authority to you. Because you